Welcome to our deep dive into the largest forest fires in U.S. history. These devastating events, as we'll see, have shaped not only our landscapes but also our very understanding of fire itself, how it behaves, how we can manage it, and the profound impact it has on our world. From the towering pines of the American West to the dense woodlands of the East, fire has always been a powerful force, capable of both destruction and renewal. Over the next hour, we'll journey across time and terrain, uncovering the stories behind some of the most significant wildfire events in U.S. history. We'll witness the sheer scale of these infernos, the ferocity with which they tore through vast swaths of land, and the indelible mark they left on the environment and the human spirit. Let's begin our exploration. In the summer of 1910, a perfect storm gathered over the American West. Months of drought had turned the once lush forests of Washington, Idaho, and Montana into tinderboxes, primed for ignition. Then, on August 20th, a series of dry thunderstorms unleashed their fury. Lightning strikes ignited dozens of small fires, fanned by hurricane-force winds. These small blazes quickly coalesced into a monstrous inferno. The air grew thick with smoke, the sky turning an apocalyptic red. This was the Great Fire of 1910. A firestorm of unimaginable proportions. It consumed everything in its path, devouring an area larger than the state of Connecticut. Towns were reduced to ash, and the landscape was forever scarred. The fire raged for 3 days, driven by a relentless wind. Firefighters, ill-equipped and overwhelmed, could do little but watch in horror as the flames danced across the horizon. The smoke was so thick that it blotted out the sun for days, casting a pall over settlements hundreds of miles away. The roar of the fire, a deafening symphony of destruction, could be heard for miles. Finally, on August 23rd, a merciful rain began to fall, offering a reprieve to the exhausted firefighters and a chance to finally contain the inferno. In the aftermath, the devastation was staggering. Over 3 million acres lay blackened and barren. At least 87 people, including 78 firefighters, lost their lives in the blaze. The Great Fire of 1910 remains one of the largest wildfires in U.S. history, a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature. It also served as a brutal wake-up call, forcing a reassessment of fire management practices and leading to the development of new firefighting techniques and technologies. Yellowstone National Park, a crown jewel of America's natural heritage, is no stranger to fire. In fact, fire is an essential part of the park's ecosystem, shaping its forests and meadows for millennia. But in the summer of 1988, Yellowstone faced a firestorm unlike any in its recorded history. A combination of drought, high winds, and an accumulation of dry timber created a tinderbox waiting to ignite. On June 14th, a lightning strike sparked a small fire in the park's interior. Initially, it was allowed to burn, as park policy at the time recognized the ecological benefits of naturally occurring fires. However, fueled by dry conditions and strong winds, the fire quickly grew out of control. Over the next few months, a series of lightning strikes ignited more fires, and soon the entire park was engulfed in a sea of flames. The fires raged for weeks, burning nearly 800,000 acres, almost half of Yellowstone's total area. The smoke from the fires could be seen for hundreds of miles, casting a haze across the western United States. The scale of the fires shocked the nation and the world. Images of Yellowstone's iconic landscapes engulfed in flames filled newspapers and television screens. Public outcry was swift, questioning the park's fire management policies. However, amidst the destruction, a remarkable transformation was taking place. As the fires burned, they cleared out decades of accumulated deadwood, creating space for new growth. In the years that followed, Yellowstone's ecosystem rebounded with astonishing resilience. Wildflowers carpeted the blackened earth, and lodgepole pine seedlings, their cones opened by the heat of the fire, took root in the charred soil. The 1988 Yellowstone fires, though devastating, provided invaluable lessons about the role of fire in natural ecosystems. They led to a reevaluation of fire suppression policies and a greater understanding of the importance of allowing natural fires to burn, when appropriate, for the long-term health of our forests. On October 8, 1871, a firestorm of unimaginable ferocity swept through the town of Peshtigo, Wisconsin, and the surrounding countryside. Overshadowed by the Great Chicago Fire, which occurred on the same day, The Peshtigo fire remains the deadliest wildfire in U.S. history, a chilling reminder of nature's untamed power. The summer of 1871 had been unusually dry in the Midwest. Weeks without rain had turned the region's forests and farmlands into tinder. Sparks from passing trains, common in those days, ignited small fires. But on that fateful October day, conditions aligned to create a perfect storm of fire. Driven by hurricane-force winds, small fires coalesced into a massive firestorm, a wall of flame that roared across the landscape at an astonishing speed, engulfing everything in its path. The fire advanced so quickly that many residents had little warning and even less time to escape. The Inferno tore through Peshtigo, a lumber town of 1,700 souls, with terrifying speed, incinerating buildings and turning the night sky an eerie, incandescent green. People caught in the open were overcome by the intense heat and suffocating smoke. Many sought refuge in wells, rivers, and root cellars, but even these offered little protection from the fire's wrath. The firestorm created its own weather system, generating fire tornadoes that sucked the oxygen from the air, leaving many to perish from asphyxiation. When the flames finally subsided, the town of Peshtigo was reduced to smoldering ruins. The official death toll stands at 1,200, but many believe the true number to be far higher, perhaps as many as 2,500, lost in the chaos and confusion. The Peshtigo fire serves as a somber reminder of the devastating power of fire and the importance of preparedness in the face of such natural disasters. It also highlights the vital role of historical memory, ensuring that even in the shadow of other tragedies, stories like Peshtigo's are not forgotten. In late October 2003, as hot Santa Ana winds whipped through the canyons and valleys of San Diego County, California, a hunter's signal fire escaped its bounds, igniting a firestorm that would forever alter the landscape and the lives of those who called it home. The Cedar Fire, as it came to be known, exploded across the drought-parched terrain, fueled by dense chaparral and driven by the relentless Santa Ana winds. The fire raced westward, consuming everything in its path, from the rugged mountains to the suburban sprawl. Over 15 days, the Cedar Fire scorched a path of destruction across more than 273,000 acres, an area larger than the city of Los Angeles. The firestorm generated its own weather system, with towering pyrocumulus clouds reaching heights of 30,000 feet, visible from space. The fire's rapid advance forced tens of thousands of residents to flee their homes, creating scenes of chaos and heartbreak on the congested highways. Firefighters, overwhelmed by the fire's ferocity, battled desperately to protect homes and save lives. The Cedar Fire claimed 15 lives, destroyed over 2,800 structures, and caused an estimated $1.3 billion in damages. The fire's toll on the environment was equally devastating, leaving behind a blackened landscape stripped bare of vegetation. The Cedar Fire served as a stark reminder of the increasing risks posed by wildfires in a changing climate. It highlighted the vulnerability of communities built in fire-prone areas and the urgent need for improved fire prevention and preparedness measures. In the wake of the disaster, communities came together to rebuild and recover, demonstrating the resilience of the human spirit. The Cedar Fire also spurred advancements in firefighting techniques, fire-resistant building materials, and community evacuation plans. On the morning of November 8, 2018, a spark from a faulty power line ignited a firestorm in the parched foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains in Northern California. Fanned by strong winds and fueled by dry vegetation, the campfire, as it came to be known, exploded into a conflagration of unimaginable speed and ferocity. The fire raced through the town of Paradise, a community of 26,000 residents, with terrifying speed. The flames, driven by winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour, devoured everything in their path, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. The fire's rapid advance gave residents little time to escape. Terrified families fled their homes, many forced to abandon their belongings and drive through walls of flame and smoke. The firestorm created its own weather, generating fire tornadoes that tossed cars aside and ripped roofs from buildings. By the time the flames died down, Paradise was gone, reduced to a smoldering wasteland of ash and twisted metal. The campfire became the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in California's history, claiming 85 lives and destroying nearly 19,000 structures. The fire's toll went far beyond the physical damage. the loss of life, homes, and memories left a community shattered and scarred. The campfire also raised urgent questions about the role of climate change, forest management practices, and the vulnerability of communities in fire-prone areas. In the aftermath of the fire, survivors faced the daunting task of rebuilding their lives and communities. The campfire serves as a stark reminder of the increasing risks posed by wildfires in a changing climate and the urgent need for comprehensive measures to mitigate these risks and protect lives and property. Thank you for joining us on this journey through some of the most significant forest fires in U.S. history. We've witnessed the awesome power of fire, its capacity for devastation, and the indelible mark it leaves on our landscapes and in our memories. As we've seen, the threat of wildfire is not a relic of the past but a clear and present danger, exacerbated by climate change, drought, and human encroachment into fire-prone areas. These fires serve as stark reminders of the importance of fire safety, preparedness, and the need for proactive measures to protect our communities and our environment. Stay informed, stay safe, and let us all do our part to prevent future tragedies.